before the dream of Laurelmor was born, there was Grandin, a bustling little hamlet nestled in the northwest corner of North Carolina. It was a timber town like many other Blue Ridge boomtowns of the early 20th century, discovered by wealthy industrialist William J. Grandin of Pennsylvania. Grandin came from a long line of successful investors and dreamed of swelling his fortune by harvesting timber, building a sawmill, shipping logs and lumber out by way of railroad from Grandin to nearby North Wilkesboro, and building a company town to carry out his vision.
Mr. Grandin wanted to come in here and set up a mill, lumber mill, and they came in here and bought up 60-some thousand acres of land in 3 counties, in Wilkes, Watauga, and Caldwell.
Grandin did so only after his scout, Hartley Hunt, surveyed the area and found it to his liking. The white pine forest land of the Elk Creek area was purchased in 1912 from Confederate General Robert Hoke for $950,000. Grandin wanted to build his town on a hillside in the Kings Creek area on land he purchased from 3 sisters, Ida, Cora, and Clara Greer. He also began plans for construction of a common carrier railroad to be called the Watauga and Yadkin River Railroad. The path he wanted the railroad to take, however, was along the banks of the Yadkin River, an area prone to flooding. But according to legend, civil engineer Henry Landon scoffed at that concern and said he could stop the river with the heel of his boot if he were so inclined.
All aboard!
And so the railway began, offering Christmas Day excursions over the finished portion of the line in 1912.
I was just a little girl, and I can't remember riding on the train. But my mother told me that I rode on that train, and we went down to a cousin's and spent the night in Wilkesboro.
Many local residents took advantage of this novel trip, a bargain at 35 cents per passenger. Eventually, the line would run over 20 miles from North Wilkesboro to a junction at Elkville that split off into branches running to Darby and Grandin. The railroad intended to build into Boone and across Watauga County and beyond into Tennessee, though these dreams were never realized. Concerns of a flood turned to reality when the Yadkin River flooded in 1913 and damaged a small section of the line's grade, as well as a bridge over Stony Fork. But thanks to Grandin's perseverance, the rail line continued on. By then, the town of Grandin was also up and running. In its heyday, it boasted 32 houses, a boarding house, a large company store, post office, a church, even a sewer system. Products flowed from an edging mill, a planing mill, a blacksmith shop, kilns, and several other buildings. The entire enterprise was as state-of-the-art as the railroad itself. The Wilkes Patriot offered observations from a motor car, stating the welfare of the visitor, excursionist, or picnicker has not been overlooked in caring for and housing the resident. Daily life in Grandin definitely developed a distinct rhythm. On Sunday afternoons, the train lazily crept along the banks of the Yadkin and stopped whenever someone flagged it down. The scenic route, laced with old, dropping grapevines and full of wildlife, passed close by such historic sites as Fort Hamby and passed through the Marley Ford Tunnel, always a thrill to riders. But while things seemed well for the rail line, there was more trouble brewing than the threat of floods. The national economy suffered from the most severe recession since 1893, and the railroad had proved more costly to construct than William Grandin had anticipated. Lumber production failed to meet expectations, and the railroad fell into receivership. Just when it seemed things couldn't get any worse, the remnants of a hurricane on July 16th combined with a low-pressure system over the southeastern United States, causing a devastating Yadkin River flood. In a 24-hour period, over 3 feet of water descended on the area. Says one source, the creeks, streams, and rivers of the region became violent torrents, ripping away anything that stood in its path. And the Watauga and Yadkin River Railroad indeed stood in that path.
All the logs and all the debris of everything that was loose came down during that flood.
During an inspection tour, crew members discovered that portions of the line were completely washed out. A small, dinky engine was lost, and the inspection team was forced to flee to higher ground to escape the rising Yadkin River. The inspection team walked 12 miles back to Wilkesboro to report the sad news about the state of the railroad. The town of Grandin, situated on a high plateau, fared far better than the crippled railroad. It escaped serious damage. Despite the considerable destruction caused by the flood, Grandin rebuilt the railroad. Bonds for $55,000 were issued to finance repairs, and on October 7, 1916, rail service between Grandin and North Wilkesboro was restored. Unfortunately, the fledgling railroad never fully recovered financially and went into receivership again after the revelation that an officer of the company had embezzled a significant portion of the firm's capital. In 1918, a minor flood proved fatal to the future of the railroad. Sadly, the village of Grandin also ceased to exist. People moved on and silence crept back to what had been the heart of the forest. Within a matter of years, the trees that had been cut reclaimed their territory, leaving only colorful memories and yellowing photographs. By 1946, the tract of timberland once owned by the Grandin Lumber Company and later by the Elk Creek Lumber Company had dwindled to 37,000 acres. The same year, after a controversial bidding war between American Drew founder Dick Johnston and others, Johnston walked away with the land for a mere $93,000. William Grandin once planned for an idyllic future here in the rolling hills of northwest North Carolina. A vision shared nearly a century later by Bobby Ginn, founder of Ginn Clubs and Resorts. Here, across 6,000 beautiful acres, the Ginn Corporation is developing Laurelmor, a luxury resort where the traditions of yesterday are transformed into an elegant club experience. Finally, a return to the mountain lifestyle once conceived for the tiny town of Grandin, and now realized in Laurelmor.